Fire. All right, guys, we're back. The Fantastic Four -1 today. Nick couldn't make our show. So we have to figure out what's going to be his punishment next week. We got to make him do something embarrassing.
We'll make him paint his face.
He likes to do that.
No.
Well, here we are with Jeff, and either Jose's stroking out or his camera froze. I don't know. There he's back. He's back.
He's back. I think my phone jumped on the network. So I disabled the network.
So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Last week, everybody was talking about Detroit was saying the Dolphins were soft, and then we expected some really kick-ass game against Detroit and Detroit to be fighting and everything, and nothing happened. It was just a game.
I mean, they didn't play their starters again, right?
Yeah. So,
I mean, we're doing great against the second string.
It was one of those games where if you're when you're a season ticket holder and they make you buy tickets for preseason, you get really upset because you don't see anything interesting.
That's
It's
right.
a bunch of second stringers, and the coach is not even using a real game plan. He's just saying, okay, let's see if we can get this guy. Let's see how this left tackle does. Let's run some plays to his side and stuff like that. Whether they win or lose, they really don't care. I don't know. Did you guys learn anything about the Miami Dolphins this past weekend in that game?
I like the front seven. I think, and then we added a guy, an edge rusher, during the week. So I think, I mean, do we need corners? We do, but I think it's starting to shape. The defense is starting to shape up as the front seven. I really want to see these guys against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. I want to see if Josh Allen's going to be running around for his life, and that would be great. Yeah, I mean, I think for me it was another pleasant surprise around the defense.
To me, see, that's the thing. The front seven looked good, but they were playing against Detroit's second and third string.
Yeah.
Half the players we saw playing this weekend won't even be playing on the Dolphins or Detroit.
That's true.
In a couple of weeks. So we don't know.
Yeah, we don't.
I know they're working for backups. We all know who's starting. By the second week of the preseason, every team pretty much has settled on who their starters are. I mean, the more and more preseason games are becoming unimportant, immaterial. They really don't show anything.
Yeah.
Jeff, you want to spit something out?
Yeah.
Jeff?
Well, it's not unimportant to those players that are trying to make the roster, that are trying to do backups, that are trying to maybe if they don't make this team, they can get onto another team.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like Chris Greer's probably waiting until after the last preseason game when they have the final cut downs on all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
That he's probably going to pick up another cornerback somewhere along the way that was maybe a salary cap, cut by another team that's a good player that they just decided to go in a different direction. So, there's going to be players moved around. And what I love is you guys, already calling this season over, you negative Nancy's, you Debbie Downers that
I just pumped up
soft and we got to fire everybody and the season's over. We haven't had one play yet.
I don't know. Did you not hear me talking about the front seven? I don't know. I said I was excited about the front seven. I'd like to see them playing against the Buffalo Bills.
First thing, when you said Chris Greer might make some moves, a cold shiver went up and down my spine.
I'm like, oh, here we go.
My thing, what I'm trying to point out is the preseason games really aren't that important. I think teams would be better served doing inter-squad scrimmages like what they did with Detroit, what they did before with Chicago,
Yeah.
where the teams can actually see their players and watch them up close and have them. Okay, like I said, this left tackle, this other backup left tackle. Let's see how he does in this situation. Let's see how he does in this situation. Okay, guys, let's run this play 3 times in a row. Let's see how he does. Things like that. Whereas I know the NFL is not going to get rid of preseason games because there's money to be made and there's no money to be made in scrimmages. But I think teams learn more from their scrimmages and from their practices than they ever learn from these preseason games anymore. I mean, everybody was like, look at Cleveland. Everybody's talking with Shedeur Sanders. I don't know if I got that other guy they drafted and everything. And they thought, oh, it's going to be a big battle to see the starter. Yeah. No. By the second preseason game, the Browns already said, no, Joe Flacco's starting. You know, that's those guys are. Everybody thinks this is like some big battle for the starting position. The guys in Cleveland already knows who's going to be starting at that.
What I think's going to happen is they're going to drop another preseason game and down to 2, and then they'll put that as 18 regular. I think they're moving towards 18 regular season games, and so that's just a matter of time, another year or 2, and we'll be down to 2 preseason games. That's probably all you need.
I know the players don't want the extra game because they don't want to get an extra game is more work and they get hurt, more chances to get hurt. You know, that, and especially like, I mean, you look at all the guys who took the break there. I mean, a lot of the starters didn't even get dressed. you know, they didn't even put on pads just in case, you know, somebody got hurt or something. They had to go in the game. You know, Tua wasn't going to see the field.
No.
You know, Tua next weekend is going to play the first quarter, if at all.
He's not playing next week.
I think he'll start.
He got his. I don't think he didn't play last year in during the preseason, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he like a quarter.
He threw a touchdown pass right in front of me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He'll probably the last preseason game, he'll go there, run one series, and then that's it. Just to check things out and everything. And with a lot of the starters, and to me, I would just get rid of 2 preseason games more than enough. Just get that over with. You know, the NFL is trying to figure out a way to have more playoff games because that's where the real money is.
Yeah, that would be cool. A little bit long, get more teams into the playoffs. I don't understand why. How many is it? 10. Right? Be like hockey. I mean, there's like maybe 3 or 4 teams that don't make the playoffs in hockey, right? And the playoffs last forever in hockey. I mean, do it like hockey. I mean, come on.
Wait, I want to throw out something else here. Before we even talk about the Dolphins, I heard a rumor that some people came up with this idea, and a lot of the owners are liking this idea, to have the Super Bowl one year outside the United States. Specifically, they wanted to have it in London. Okay. First off, I go, oh no, what about the local fans? What local fans? Super Bowls are for rich people now. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless we luck into it, we're not going to get Super Bowl tickets. Okay. Because none of us are going to drop $5-10 grand on a seat to go to Super Bowl.
No.
And why not? Why not have it over there?
As long as it's a Dolphins home game.
I don't know, because America.
The Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl is never technically a home game. Well, it's considered a home game, but one team is supposedly the home team. But the Super Bowl is always in random spots every year. You might get lucky, but that's only happened once. I think San Francisco.
You might offend a lot of football fans. Right, in the position to just go, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to watch football anymore.
They always say that. Say that, but then they come back. First, it was when they were taking the knee. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to watch football anymore. Guess what?
Oh, I'm sure
ratings went up.
Fans in that, the ratings went up.
now the big thing this year is the male cheerleaders. Oh my God. Oh. Social media. Oh, it's hilarious. All these people like so upset.
And Minnesota is on fire.
Right? But 12 teams this year are going to have male cheerleaders.
It is burning down.
Okay, and it's like people, all these. I don't know what these guys are. They're so upset, and I'm thinking about, oh man, it must be so hard for you in the closet because
College has
seriously,
been doing that for years.
some
College
guy
has
dancing on the
negativity.
sidelines. If that affects you, I mean,
I mean,
who cares?
what's up with that? I saw it. I was like, I don't know, maybe a better looking guy. I don't know. I mean, I didn't. I was like, it didn't phase me. I was somebody had to actually point it out to me. It's like there's a guy on the field. I was like, huh. I mean, there's like three or four guys in college on the field,
Oh,
right? I mean, yeah,
colleges
then
all have
throw him
male
up in the
cheerleaders.
air.
Yeah,
It won't be
Yeah,
long
they
before
get to hold
before.
the girl up by their
Yeah,
butt,
yeah,
looking
yeah.
up
yeah,
their
yeah.
skirt. I like,
I'm, te-
where do I
I'm.
sign up for that job?
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
first off,
That's going to happen. What's good? There's going to be some two or three big dudes, right? They're going to be throwing girls up in the air, cheerleaders. Woo! It's
well,
going to
I
be
saw the
awesome. People are going to love
Minnesota
it.
cheerleader. He ain't going to be doing that.
No, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, right? There needs to be more like if you're going to bring in the guy cheerleaders, right? Roll in the college style, throw, build the pyramid, right? Throw somebody up in the air, something like that. I mean, I'm with that kind of cheerleading.
Well, first of all, let's remember one thing: NFL cheerleaders aren't like college or high school
I
cheerleaders.
hear it. I hear it.
NFL cheerleaders are just
The
this much above
dancers.
stripper.
Yes.
Okay, because that's they're
But I
scantily clad girls who
have to be
dance.
careful.
That's
I have
it. Okay.
I have friends
Um,
that have been
that might
uh
offend some people's sensibilities, but it's true. Okay,
cheerleaders.
they're not doing any cheers. They're waving pom poms. Then the music comes out and they're shaking their booty. Okay, for the rich guys who got lower level seats. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Here's what I noticed about the Dolphin games.
Mhm.
Between
Yeah.
every play on the big screen, they highlight one of the cheerleaders.
Of course.
Every play.
Mhm.
Right? I'm like, Jeff, did you notice that? Like,
I didn't
okay,
notice that.
yeah, it's like but every play, boom, there's a cheerleader on the field. Watch this year. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, you see, Jeff's lucky that his seats are up high because if he was ever got down low and got close to the cheerleaders, he'd never watch a game.
Hey, cheerleaders, they're doing their thing.
No, no, I got nothing. Fine,
Yeah,
cheerleaders. That's, to
yeah,
me, it's always been a part of the tradition of football and everything.
yeah,
But
exactly.
if some guy wants to go out there and shake his booty too, and the team's okay with it, and they're going to pay him,
Get in there.
whatever. Good for it. Knock
Make
yourself
it.
out.
I
More
mean,
power to you.
he had to beat out some ladies,
Probably, yeah. And
right? He had to beat out some ladies, so he probably got some he can hold a groove down. Right?
and the
Let's see
problem
what
is
happens.
most of the guys complaining are middle aged men
I
who
could
just
care
hate the
less.
fact that,
No.
hey, the NFL might want to try to some other demographic to make
Yeah,
more money.
let me tell you something. If they wanted to pour fuel on the fire, they
Uh-huh.
did it. Right? With the like, yeah, watch me now. Right? Right? How about that?
Well, there's no such
I
thing
see
as
it right
bad
now.
press.
Mhm.
No such thing as bad press. If they're talking about it,
No.
good or
Oh,
bad,
oh yes, there is bad. Ask Colin Kaepernick if there's anything such thing as bad press.
like you said, the ratings went up when
Yeah.
when they kicked him out of the
Oh, the
NFL. Ratings
NFL
went
turned it
up.
around, but not for Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
He's still hoping he's going to get the call. Uh,
How
He
many
even
years
comes
now
up
has he
and
been out of the
sometimes he'll come up in the chat rooms. What about Kaepernick? Poor guy.
anyway, the game last week. What do you guys think? What stood out to you? What is going? Jose, you said the front seven. Jeff, what caught your eye in that
Well,
game?
that,
I would say it's
yeah.
our rookie quarterback throwing touchdown passes, throwing darts out there. He looked really good. He's playing against the third string, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he looks like he's got talent. It looks like they drafted the right guy. He's like the prototype quarterback. He's tall. He's strong. He can run. He's got all the tools.
He
So
looked
we'll
good,
see.
but
He showed some anticipation, right, in that game. I see guys coming out of a bunch. He just threw it coming out of a bunch of people, and then he opens up, and obviously he's building. He can build relationships with wide receivers. He's got that relationship with what's the kid's name?
Washington.
Washington.
Yeah,
no, it's yeah, but same guy.
It didn't look good with our backup quarterback. Our backup quarterback is hanging on to the ball too long, and almost threw a couple of interceptions because of it, throwing behind the receivers. He did not look sharp at all.
Well, that's one thing I want to see if they for next preseason game. What I would like to see is probably not going to happen. I want to see Zach Wilson out there with the first string receivers and see what a lot of times a lot of sacks are not because the quarterback held onto the ball too long or the offensive line, is because the receivers didn't get open or didn't make the right turn.
Right.
It's hard to tell. I'm not Mike McDaniels. I'm not the offensive coordinator. I don't know. I can't look at the film and go, okay, that's not Zach Wilson's fault. I remember you were saying he was holding on the ball too long. One of the things, the negatives the Jets didn't like about him is supposedly he was getting rid of the ball too quick. He was like trying to push the ball somewhere, and they're saying, take the sack, don't throw an interception. Maybe he's trying to do that, hold the ball longer.
This McDaniel offense, though, is the quarterback's throwing to a spot on the field, and it's the receiver's job to be at that spot. So it's a lot of times Tua releases the ball before the receiver's made his break. So the McDaniel offense is designed for the quarterback to get rid of that ball quickly. And when the quarterback hangs onto the ball, the whole play just breaks down.
But also, as I was saying, you mentioned that he was throwing behind some receivers. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was throwing the ball where it was supposed to be, but the receiver didn't make the right move.
That's exactly the receiver was in a bunch of bunch of defenders, and he just threw the ball, right? And the receiver ended up catching it with the defender on his back.
Hanging on the ball too long, the receiver would break open, and the ball was not there. Then he would throw the ball, and then the defense would break on that ball. The defensive backs then had time to go in and make a play on the ball. Whereas if the ball arrived when the receiver was open, it would have been a good play. So to me, I saw several instances of him holding on to the ball too long, where he should have just you make the decision. If the guy's not open, you throw it away. If he's open, you throw it to him. You just have to. You can't just hang on to the ball. You don't have that kind of time in the NFL. You got 2, maybe 3 seconds, and you got to have that clock in your head. 2 seconds. There's nobody open. Throw it away. You don't take the sack. You don't throw it into coverage.
And sometimes it's not as easy as you think it is to throw the ball away. That's when there's an offender in your face. But I hope Zach Wilson shows better, because he's the backup. That rookie is not going to be the backup, at least not right away.
Well, they haven't committed to that. I watched a report yesterday where they asked the offensive coordinator who the backup was, and he was very non-committal. It was sort of like, asking, Trump a question about Epstein. You're going to get everything but an answer.
Politics, no politics.
No politics, man.
Sorry, but I didn't mean it. I was just using that as an example of somebody deflecting questions from what they don't want to talk about.
So what you're saying is the Dolphins' offensive coordinator is a possible pedophile?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because this is going on the internet, and that's the way the internet works.
Yeah, that's the way the internet
What I
works.
expected to see in their game was that Wilson would start the game and play the first half, and then they go into at halftime, make adjustments, come out, and he play 1 or 2 series in the second half to implement those adjustments, which is what I wanted to see, but that didn't happen. We came out, we brought in our rookie quarterback, and he played the whole second half. So I'm hoping this game that's what's going to happen, that they're going to take Wilson in. We're okay. This is what we see. Let's make these adjustments, come out in the third quarter and implement those. And
Yeah, you
that's the
probably
name
will.
of the game in the NFL is halftime adjustments. You know,
Right.
the team that can adjust, and not just halftime, but even during the game, after halftime, you have to make adjustments because the other team's going to adjust, and you're going to have to adjust to their adjustments.
And
It's
then the other
just
team, then you have to
adjustments.
turn around and adjust your
Yeah.
adjustment to their adjustment because they're adjusting to
Um,
your adjustment, and there's adjustments. We actually might see that because, like I said, I expect Tua to play at least one series. They
right.
usually do the last game, and then maybe they'll bring in Zach Wilson, or who knows? Maybe they bring in the young guy and go, "Here, hey, here's your shot. Prove us wrong." You never know.
Yeah, they may start. They may start him
Mhm.
and turn it around. Have the rookie play the first half, and then Wilson come in the second half.
Save the day.
We'll
That's
see.
actually a pretty good. That's a good game plan because that's the way it would work anyway.
Yeah, well,
You just want to see the quarterback that plays the first half go in. They go over adjustments and come out and do that after, in the third quarter. Maybe just play one series, two series, then turn it over to the other guy. Just to just to get in the habit of going in and making those adjustments. It's for the coaches as much as everybody else, that they have to read what the team's doing and then go in and make adjustments.
uh, defense. Jose, the Dolphins just signed somebody.
I don't even know who he is. Right? I mean, but apparently he's
What's
good.
his last name? Judah or Judah or something
Who
like
is it?
that. He's a Pro Bowler. He used
Yeah,
to be
I
a Pro.
mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we have so many now on the line, and everybody. So I don't know how people are going to block that. I'm just so eager to get
Judon.
to
Yeah.
game one or
Mhm.
game two, right? And see how the front seven is playing because we got decent linebackers and we got a really good line. And I think that line is going. I look, if we have a chance at the playoffs, it's because of that front seven, and because we know we can score. And I'm always confident when I'm at the game and Tua gets the ball. I know that he's going to take care of it, and I know that he's going to work it down the field methodically, and he's going to eat up time. Right? That's typically what happens in our offense. So we run enough to run the clock. He's accurate enough to keep the clock moving. He ends up taking 7, 8 minutes. We get a field goal or a touchdown. This is always Tua. Tua is going to score 24, 27 points a game. Could be 35, 41. I mean, it just depends if we get going. But if that front seven is bringing the ball back and giving it to Tua and we're getting off the field, right, then yeah, I mean, but we got a chance. There's that when you got a good front seven, we got a chance. Unless you got this running quarterback, and that can escape. But I'm not, this front seven is going to be very, very interesting to watch and excited about.
That's probably going
Oh,
to
I'm
be the
excited about
best.
the defense.
I believe that's going to be the best part of the Dolphins. Their front
Yeah,
seven.
they're saying
Well,
that this is one of the best front sevens that we've ever assembled, especially on paper. LOL. Right, but that's where we're at. So I'm excited to see what happens with this experiment.
he also signed a cornerback
Yes, we
who
did.
was supposedly a Pro Bowl cornerback, but he's been out of the league for a year and a half.
Yeah. Instead of
So
Asante Samuel, right? We should have got Asante Samuel. Probably would have cost us an arm and a leg, right? But he's out there too. Still rumors flying around. I mean, I think we were talking to both Asante Samuel and this other guy, and I think we were probably playing them off each other, and we end up getting the guy on the cat, what's his name, Greer style, putting another guy off the, you know, eating popcorn, watching games,
Stop
right?
saying that name.
Woo! Right. So yeah, I'm
all I
excited about
know
the
is the
front seven.
opposing team, they're going to have to get the ball out fast.
Yeah.
That's
Our corners aren't going to have to cover very long.
No.
So
And
they
if we
just
play
need
a
to
little
be on the receiver right away.
if we play a
And
little
then,
bump and run.
yeah, we're not going to be, in the back. We're going to be up on the receiver on the line of scrimmage.
And I remember the last time we had a really good line, a really, really good line, we were hurting quarterbacks, right? So the other side of that coin is we might injure a or two going into this, right? I was it under who? Oh, and Tua first came in, right? I think the first year that Tua was here under Flores, we were hurting quarterbacks every other game, and it's what happens when you have a really good front seven. I'm excited about the front seven. I think we're gonna be hurting quarterbacks if
Jeff, are you doing some kind of
get them a little chemistry.
some kind of
So
miming
that's
there?
when we had the jailbreak defense where we were blitzing on every down, and the quarterback had to get rid of that ball quick. I'm all for that. I say we bring the house on every play.
The front
Even
seven
just
looks
about
good.
it.
run
Yeah.
blitz.
Remember when the Falcons did that one? Who was that coach? The one who also raced stock NASCAR for a while. What's his name?
Glanville. Jerry
Yeah,
Glanville.
and he did 1 year with the Falcons where he'd put everybody on the line on defense and just bum rush, and it worked for like a game and a half.
Yeah, and then they figured it out.
And then the NFL just goes, okay, we'll just take 2 steps back and throw it over you guys and score touchdowns whenever we feel. That ended really quick. Well, I got some good news for the Dolphins.
All right.
Remember after they traded away Juno Smith to Pittsburgh for some unknown reason?
Yeah.
The tight end they got afterwards, that Darren Waller, the guy who had quit football the year before. Well, now he's came over he's off the PUP list, the physical unable to play list. So now he actually gets to go out there and do a little sweating before the season starts.
Maybe we'll see him in this last game. He'll get a few snaps.
I mean, the question is, how many players do we have like that are, first year, second year kind of guys, and they just never got on the field, and they're either injured or something like that. Do we have any guys like that we like this year? We've already lost some folks. We're not going to see them till next year, and next year we'll be talking about the folks that we lost in minicamp, right? Be like, oh, they're coming back, right? We'll have him. How many? We'll have hims do we have this year, right? And how many of those are right now on the pub list? How many guys we have on the pub list? That's a good question.
The NFL is so much now back in the day when there were less teams and everything, you knew everybody on your team. You knew who the backup left linebacker is. Now they bring in so many people, and how it's so spread, how there's so many more teams, it's so spread out. There are guys, I would say they're probably right now in NFL's training camps right now, 100 to 150 guys who after next week will never play a down of organized football again, because they're just bodies for practice. They brought them in and they had to do something. And that's the other thing. With expansion, you have less depth. I mean, you go back in the 70s, there are backup players who today would be starters, would be all pros, but there are backups because there are so few teams. Now there's so many teams. There are a lot of players.
Well, now they have that other league. So these players will move into that other league.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called, the FSL or what, I can't remember.
I don't know.
They
change the name all the time.
But it's a way for them to keep playing, be a farm teams for the NFL, and for these players to make a paycheck, and keep their dreams alive instead of going and driving for UPS or FedEx or something.
Yeah.
Keep hoping. I
like the fact that there's a second league, sort of like baseball, where they got the farm teams, the AAA teams that you pull them up. Teams pull them up. They have their own teams. Like the Marlins got the Jacksonville team, where all our great players seem to be coming from. Need to go to Jacksonville and start watching the
Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, that's them, the Jumbo Shrimp.
And I went to
what about the Bananas?
I didn't go to the Savannah Bananas game, but they're not mine. They're the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. I went to a few years ago. I went to a minor league game in Pensacola for the Blue Wahoos. That's the other. That's the single A Marlins team. That was really nice. That stadium was beautiful, right
That's
on the
great.
bay and everything. That was super nice.
Because
And empty. Nobody there. Nobody goes to minor league baseball games.
Oh, that stadium was
the locals
packed.
do. Yeah,
The locals do.
the locals do.
There is it's a minor league team. It's a small stadium, but there are like 3,000 or 4,000 people in those stands. The stadium probably only holds 5,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a fun night. I liked it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're running out of time. This weekend we got the Jaguars in preseason. They're also gonna have a scrimmage before and everything. Who cares who wins? It doesn't really matter. What do you expect to see? You think Tua is going to start and play at least a series?
I don't think
I
so.
do.
All right, Jose, no. Any other starters you think, or is going to be just like last weekend where mostly second stringers?
Well, if Tua starts, then his whole offensive line will start in front of him.
Right.
Yep.
They're not going to start Tua without his starters in front of him to protect him. But yeah, they'll quickly come out. Maybe probably just one series. What I expect.
We'll see Tyreek and Waddle and everything, and nobody's talking about
Tyreek. Probably not Waddle.
And nobody's talking about the running game, which hasn't been terrible, but it has. Well, actually, they weren't able to punch that time in Chicago. They weren't punching in when it was 1st and goal. But I'm this week.
But they spent 10 minutes getting it there, right? We'll figure that 1 yard out.
So I expect to see some work on the running game. Try something there. Tua will throw a few passes. Get some of the kinks out. Defense also
drinking at the tailgate,
and a couple of the new cornerbacks and the new outside linebacker, the edge rusher. They're going to play because they got to learn the system fast, and that's it. And then all the players go back to the training camp and wait for the knock on the door.
Yeah,
bring your playbook.
Bring your tablet, because it's not a playbook anymore. It's a tablet. Bring your tablet. And it's done.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anybody playing. I think it's just going to be a big beer fest for the tailgaters and the fans. Give them a chance to get out, go to an event. Right, but I don't see any starters. I see all the second string. I see everybody that is on the fringe, starting and playing most of the game to see if they can show something extra. But I think we're set at this point.
To me, my pick is I want you guys' opinions. Give me a number. Attendance. I'd say 35,000.
Oh, man, lucky to get that.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a good attendance because we only have one preseason game this year.
That's true.
Everybody's been chomping at the bit to get out there and tailgate, except for Jose. For some reason, he doesn't want to show up. But I'm going to show up, and I think I'm going to go down and sit in Nick's seats down there in the lower bowl so I can check out these cheerleaders we're talking about.
There you go. Get us some highlights.
Next time we got. I'm going to join you guys at tailgate next time Taylor Swift's in town. That must be a fun tailgate.
Oh, it is.
I mean, come on.
Taylor Swift comes out and tailgates, and Travis comes out. We have a good time.
There you go. All right, guys. We miss you, Nick. We don't forgive you, though, for not being here.
Hey,
That's Jeff Brown.
In the seats this week, Nick. Hopefully you didn't sell them.
We got Jose. I'm Tony Castanero. Like us, follow, subscribe, ask us some questions. We don't care. We'll see you next week. Getting ready. Basically, we're going to talk about the season starting, what's going to happen. So see you soon, guys.
All right.
Fintastic 4 -3 today.
Fins up.